Good morning students. Today's our topic is mandibular central incisor. So the mandibular central incisors are total 2 in number. The mandibular central incisors and lateral incisors are similar and complement each other in functions. They are comparatively smaller in dimensions than the maxillary central incisors. These teeth erupt at the age of 6 to 7 years. The tooth numbering system, in the universal system, the left one is given 2-4, where the right mandibular central incisor is given number 2-5. In Zygmunt-Palmer, it is given 1 when the quadrant is open towards the left side and right one when it is open towards the right one. In FDS system, 3-1 is given for the left side mandibular central and 4-1 is given for the right mandibular central incisor. So this is 3-1 and this is 4-1. These are the different aspects of the mandibular central incisors. The average dimension of the tooth in millimeters. First, the crown length, it is around 9.5 millimeters. The root length is around 12 millimeters. The mesodistal diameter of crown is 5 millimeter. The mesodistal diameter of crown at the cervix is around 3.5 millimeter. Whereas the labiolingual diameter at the crest of curvature is 6 mm. Whereas the labiolingual diameter at the cervical line is 5.3. The curvature of cervical line is 3 mm on the mesial side and it is around 2 mm on the distal side. The chronology, the first evidence of calcifications occurs at the age of 3 to 4 months. The crown is completed at the age of 4 to 5 years. Eruption occur at the age of 6 to 7, where the root is completed at the age of 10 years. Now the different aspect, first is labial aspect. As we seen in this diagram, the outline of the crown is trapezoidal in shape. From the labial and lingual, both aspect and shortest of uneven sides are presented towards the cervical. So this is shorter side which is present towards the cervical. The labial surface of the mandibular central incisor is very narrow and it is bilaterally symmetrical. The surface is comparatively smooth. It is convex in the cervical third, whereas it is flattened in the incisal third. So it is convex here and it is flattened in the incisal third. It is only incisors where both the meso-incisor and disto-incisal angles are sharp. Both angles are at 90 degrees, meso-incisor and disto-incisor. The height of contour is present in the incisal third and it is very close to the incisal margin. Both mesially and distally they are present at the same level. In this you can see the angles are both sharp and the height of contour is present at the incisal third. The incisal outline is straight. The incisal outline is straight and it is present at a right angles to the long axis of the tooth. In newly erupted tooth, 3 mamelons may be present on the incisal edge. The mesial and distal outlines both tapers evenly toward the cervical line. So this is mesial outline, this is distal, which is evenly tapers towards the cervical line. The meso-incisal and disto-incisal angles to the narrow cervix. The cervical line is symmetrical and it is form a semicircular outline. So this is cervical line, it forms a semicircular curvature. Lingual aspect, geometrical shape. From the lingual aspect also the tooth is trapezoidal in shape. The lingual surface is comparatively narrower than the labial surface because the crown has a lingual convergence. The surface is comparatively smooth. It is flattened in the incisal third, whereas it is convex in the cervical portion near the cingulum and concave in the middle third where the fossa is present. So the lingual fossa, this is lingual fossa. Lingual fossa is a smooth shallow concavity that is present between the marginal ridges and cingulum. The surface is comparatively smooth and it is devoid of any grooves and pits. The margin ridges are comparatively ill defined. Mesial aspect, the labial outline is here almost straight. You can see in this diagram the labial outline is comparatively flat except in the cervical third where it is slightly convex. The height of contour of this margin is present at the cervical third. The lingual margin is S-shaped. You can see it is S-shaped, and the height of contour of the lingual margin is again present in the cervical third where the cingulum is present. The cervical line on the mesial and distal surface both have a convexity that is directed toward the incisor. So this is the incisally directed convexity. The mesial surface is convex in the incisal third and becomes somewhat flat towards the middle third. So in the incisal third, here it is convex and here it becomes flat. It may exhibit concavity sometimes in the cervical third just above the cervical line. The crown appears to be inclined lingually. In this diagram you can see that the crown has a lingual inclination. Therefore the incisal ridge is placed lingual to a vertical line which is drawn through the center of the tooth. So when we drawn a line, you can see the incisal edge is lying lingually to the center of the tooth. The incisal edge is normally straight, but sometimes it can be slightly rounded and is located lingual to the center of the root. The height of contour of the surface is present at the contact area, and this is in the incisal third. This is contact area. Now the distal aspect, the distal surface is very similar to the mesial one. Even the contact area also has a similar location. That means it is also present distally on the incisal third, and this is a unique feature among all the incisor. The cervical line has a curvature in the incisal direction, but it is comparatively less in extent when we compare it with the mesial side. This is contact area present in incisal third. Here the cervical line which has comparatively less curvature, it is around 2 mm. Then the incisal aspect, this aspect illustrates bilateral symmetry of this tooth, and this tooth is diamond shaped from this aspect. We can see here that the tooth has bilaterally symmetrical, both the parts are equal. The mesial half is equal to the distal half. The labiolingual diameter is comparatively more than the mesiodistal diameter because the crown is slightly offset towards the lingual. So in this diagram we can see more labial surface than the lingual surface, and cingulum is very slightly offset towards the distal. You can see this is the cingulum, it is not centrally placed, it has slight distal inclination. The identification feature of this tooth, when we view the tooth from the occlusally, the incisal ridge is present at a right angles to the line which bisecting the crown labiolingually. This is the characteristic feature of central incisor, and by this we can distinguish it from the similarly looking mandibular lateral incisor. The incisal ridge of the mandibular lateral incisor is present at an angle with the labiolingual bisecting line and curves towards distal. It is not present at a right angle as it present in the mandibular central. Now the root, the mandibular central incisor have a single root which is straight, and it is convex in the mesodistal direction, but it is flattened in the labiolingual direction. The root has a pointed apex. You can see the root has a pointed apex, and the apical third of root usually is straight. Sometimes the root may exhibit distal curvature. Generally the apex is straight, but sometimes it may have a distal curvature. When we see the root from the labial and lingual side, the root is generally symmetrical and it is tapered towards the apical third. You can see here the root is evenly tapered from cervical line towards the sharp apex. But we see the root from the mesial or distal view, the root is much wider. You can see in this diagram. From this aspect, the mesial aspect has comparatively wider root, and it is slightly convex in the cervicoapical direction and also labially and lingually. The developmental grooves may be present on both mesial and distal surface of the root, and the distal side has comparatively deeper developmental groove. When we take a cross section of the root at the neck, outline is roughly rectangular in shape. You can see the outline is roughly rectangular, but it has a rounded corners, and by this diagram you can clearly see the labial one is wider than the lingual. This is the labial side of the root and this is lingual, and the labiolingual dimension is comparatively more than the mesodistal diameter. But when we take the root cross section at the middle, then it is similar to the cervical section, but it is comparatively more ovoid than the rectangular. So this is about the mandibular central incisor. Thank you.